Hello there and welcome to another bit of Vampire the Masquerade Bloodlines. I'm just having a look at my talents very quickly to see if there's anything I can do to get myself out of this sticky situation. Previously, this is the situation we got ourselves into. We are currently hiding under a security camera where the AI cannot see us. Basically, the moment the AI that we walk into the view of a security camera, the guards will immediately come and attack us, regardless of where they are. So we need to get down to that door there and possibly even disable the security cameras. I'm not going to dick around any further. Let's go. So for the greater image, though, we are in the national the Natural History Museum, and I'm just going to quickly break into here for this. And we are here to try and get the Ankaran sarcophagus that has recently been delivered. And we're doing this for Prince Lacroix. However, we have recently announced to the Anarchs that we swear allegiance to them and that we are an inside agent. How fun. So, I'm going to go back a bit to try and see if we can disable those bloody arse cameras. And that by doing so, it should make life a lot easier. Our escape a lot easier. Our entry towards the sarcophagus a lot easier. We'd also dealt with the plague bearers that Damsel had sent us to deal with, and we made a bit more progress on the Carnival of Death quest line. See if I can I wonder if trying to remember the passwords. I should have actually looked at this before. No, oh well, I tried, and at least we know the room is empty. Trying to think of any other thing I could do to possibly help get in and out of this place easier. Doesn't matter if not. Right, let's just go back and we shall endeavour to raid the sarcophagus that we recently discovered on the Elizabeth Dane had been opened, possibly from the inside. If I do this, I'm going to have to make a massive run. No. From here to that door over there. Because we've opened it with the code that we recently got, 2358. I'm just quick saving to save the time for when we load. Fucking hell. This. Oh lordy dear. Video games. Right. Now this is the tough part. This is where I want to use my previous gun logic. That didn't work out as well as I was hoping. So maybe don't go that far. Need to break this window open and get in without being seen. Seen being the operative word.
Stop right there!
Not heard.
Hold it, stop right there! Stop right right there.
Doesn't stun him. Oh dear. I want to avoid a bloodbath so I can get fuck's sake, right. So I can get lots of XP. I just wonder if this guy will turn around.
You can't hide from me.
Because the moment he does... Then when he cools off, I can go back inside.
Hold it, stop right there.
And no one will be none the wiser, unless the patches fix this. I have no reason to believe it did, given how we got away with it before. Look at that. Breaking the glass was totally silent. Suspect, of course, you've lost me. Because I'm in this poorly lit room. You can't be using a computer in lighting like this. It'll damage your eyes. I knew platypus was the answer to one of these. Wombat. Right. Now that was important because we needed to disable some of the traps in the next room just as soon as this guard goes. Yeah, I'm terribly sorry that this is such a waiting game. I wish I could give you better quality viewing than this. He's just withdrawn his weapon.
Who's there? Hold it, stop right there.
Fuck! Now,
Who's there?
by closing the door, that buys me more time. So, these are beams. Oh, they would have fired beams. They would have been nice and red and nice and clear. And by striking the beams, or crossing the beams, we would have been detected and we would have had the LAPD right up our anus. The blues and twos inspecting our number twos. And here we are. The sarcophagus looks a bit different to last time. Oh. It's a chest of drawers of sorts.
I can't understand why someone would go through the trouble of stealing a box with a very ancient corpse. This city's not that dull.
What, a Beckett?
Since it's missing, I'm inclined to believe it was stolen. Or intentionally misplaced, if you like. Clearly, though, it's not here. Interesting choice of words. Weren't you here to take it away? Wouldn't that make you an attempted thief? If I stole it, I would know where it was, and most likely wouldn't be looking for it here. I'm an archaeologist, so I thought I'd indulge in a quick study of this Ankaran sarcophagus everyone's so riled up about. My guess, from what I've read about it, is that it's a mummified Mesopotamian king. I needed confirmation. Oh, I really wish I had. All this speculation about the sarcophagus containing an antediluvian and being a portent of Gehenna is making me cringe. These are the kinds of ridiculous, superstitious assumptions I came here to debunk. No one I know has ever met one, but each of the clans and their bloodlines supposedly trace their origin to an original vampire, an antediluvian. Some swear these grandsires still exist into the present, but then kindred and kind believe a lot of strange things. Armageddon, doomsday, the end of all kindred. It's a common facet of most mythologies. Fear that the world will end. Many believe Cain and the antediluvians will return to consume or destroy all kindred. I wholeheartedly disagree. Cain is the biblical first kindred and founder of the mythological first city.
I'm just trying to get all the lore, so I
a
understand
place
it
where
for
kindred
myself.
and kind coexisted. I believe
But if you are
Cain's a
trying to get
figure
into the story, I'd
concocted to
strongly recommend
personify
this.
the
I'm sorry, I'm talking
transition
over
from
it.
nomadic society to agrarian society. That myth, like most, has been twisted by time. Thin bloods rarely exhibit features or powers of their clan, and many can't embrace. Some are even rumored to have reproduced. Many kindred are terrified that their weak blood heralds the dissipation of every bloodline. Somewhat of an ignorant reactionary response, don't you think? As I said, many cultures have the fear of some form of apocalypse. Kindred believed in these stories when they were human, and naturally carried them over into kindred myth. But it doesn't take a supernatural act to cause widespread destruction. Humans and kindred are just as capable of managing their own destruction as a deity. A self-realized Gehenna warrants more vigilance than a god-induced one, don't you agree? Such is my argument, which so frequently falls on deaf ears. What prophecy doesn't have vague apocryphal signs? Let's see. The usual ones cited are the appearance of thin bloods, Cain sightings, doom, gloom, that route. For 300 years I've been trying to determine the function of our existence, the kindred's role in the world. I'm not content to attribute it to some act of supernatural biblical vengeance. We exist for a reason, and if it takes another 300, I'll figure it out. Any thoughts?
Not quite sure which one to go for. Even as a Bruja, I don't know what my character would say in this regard. Next evolution might be this interesting one. Alien species, I think he'll poo-poo the idea. I want to see what option 2 will be, just out of humor's sake.
The extent to which movies have shaped modern belief systems is extraordinary. Still, it's a better explanation than a divine sentence for manslaughter. Life's a splendid thing to indulge in. Pity we're dead. Well, my work here's stolen away into the night. Think I'll do the same.
A nice bit of XP for not killing anyone. How nice. To say we wasted about 20 minutes arsing about. Freeloading saves like a motherfucker. I'm gonna go see the gang at the last round. See what their opinions are. Then I might take a quick stop to the to another place, and then I might stop somewhere else. But yeah, we've got plenty to do in this episode. I feel as though I've got a bit of a game plan. It's not just so spontaneous. Deciding should I go for the main quest or do some side quests, and I have to plan these things out like days in advance because I don't know what the hell I'm gonna do.
Heard anything?
Hey, I heard that.
I did actually hear that the
Listen, kid,
car and stuff.
you did what you had to do. Just a messenger, right? Don't worry about Skelter. He's like all these big barking puffs nowadays. They don't bite unless they get cornered. I hear Nine's got word. I'd wager he's gonna be laying low for a while. Yeah, sure, but there's packs of youngsters out there who'd love to make a name by bringing in the head of Nines Rodriguez. You're just eager to please, ain't you? I could give a goddamn kid, but I'm sure the boys here would appreciate it if you kept it business as usual. You hear me? Just a second. I heard you were down poking around the museum. Seems like he has a lot riding on that sarcophagus. Gets such a fierce bug in that powdered wig of his. I got another scenario for you here, kiddo. Gonna bounce it off you, see what you think. You ever hear of, Diablerie?
All too well. The brewer I've had to deal with the Zamitsi. I can't fucking pronounce it for the life of me. But I'll just say, what is that to remind me?
When a vampire drains another more powerful vampire to death. Diablerie is the Sabbat specialty, but it's a big taboo in civilized kindred circles, and damn sure forbidden by the Camarilla.
See, if us guys had phones, we'd know what Diablerie is.
When a younger vampire diablerizes an elder, the younger vampire gains all of their powers. Remember what I told you about the Ankaran sarcophagus? About who that could be sleeping away in there? The prince is willing to tear LA apart to find this thing so he can have it. Why? What would a power-hungry vampire like LaCroix want with a sleeping ancient? I wonder. You gotta figure a drop of ancient blood would make any kindred just about invulnerable. Anyone who has a sarcophagus is gonna be thinking the same thing. If LaCroix gets the sarcophagus, at least we know where it is. Besides, getting the sarcophagus and getting into it are two different things.
So it's quite interesting. So, Diablerie, I think, is something that that one of the sort of other clans, I think, that you can play as, used and caused quite the feud between the Brujah, because the Brujah, I think, used to be scholars and very much interested in the world and the history and things like that, and then eventually they became like a warrior race. I'm basing this off my play of Vampire the Masquerade Redemption. We're just going to quickly go here because this is where we're going to start a new side quest. We're going to go to a spooky hospital because we need another one of those, don't we? Look around, nothing of interest here.
Help me!
I'm going to treat myself to a gummy cola bottle, one of my favourite sweeties,
It's coming for me!
while this dialogue's going on.
My crew, we were here shooting for my show. I'm a parapsychologist, haunted LA. Oh, God, it was right behind me. We've got to get out of here. Look, I'll level with you. We usually fake these things, you know, ghosts. That's all bullshit. We were setting up downstairs, and
This is my dinner
started happening.
for the time
My
being
crew,
while I'm recording.
they all started disappearing.
It's either that or onion
I
rings,
don't know what's happening.
and well, they just crunch too much. They make too much noise.
No, don't go down there. We've got to get out. It's coming. It's coming.
Locked. Oh yes, we picked up an item previously. This British statue. I've heard this will come in handy very soon. But I'm only sort of half remembering this from the wiki. Now, basically what's going on with this quest is that gentleman there was a member of the crew for Haunted LA. Which is a sort of parapsychological ghost show. Like Most Haunted and all that shite that goes on, basically. And it's about ghosts and whatnot. It's all bullshit. And you can actually figure this out from an email. If you go to the Skyline Apartments, one of the... I think it might even be that lady there. It was just being dragged along there. It's like she gets like the emails for the show, and you can sort of read the pictures for the episodes and things like that. And one of them was to go to a haunted hospital, and the Hollowbrook Hotel and things like that, and which we've just passed earlier. But here, oh no, there's a lot of real stuff, and we need to maintain the Masquerade because, well, that gentleman there had walked away, and could end up leading to revealing the existence of vampires. Oh, very fun. I wanted to very quickly talk about Anthem again from our previous video. I wanted to add something, my sort of take on the game. Because we was just saying that in terms of gaming news that it was a new release. Its release date had been announced. I'm pretty sure I'd have to go down there, but I can't seem to get down there. I'm sorry, I've just lost the way. I know it's around here somewhere. I'm not really sure how to feel about about how if it should do well or not. I mean, obviously I want the game to do well because, you know, game developers are real people. They have real lives, they have families, and they have to pay for their family and things like that. So I want them to be able to, take a wage home, and that's why I want the game to succeed. I want all games to succeed at the end of the day. If the people working on them are very nice, obviously. However, I've just quick saved over a quite scary scene. Ooh, very scary. However, I mean, if the game's successful, then are we going to see any more Mass Effect and Dragon Age? Or are we going to continue seeing Anthem game after Anthem game after Anthem game? Or just continue support for it? If it's a success, I mean, BioWare I don't think will be anywhere near like the old BioWare. We'll have absolutely no chance of seeing things like Knights of the Old Republic or Baldur's Gate. But if the game fails, will we see BioWare return as another studio out of EA's control when they ditch them? I've no doubt there's going to be more Dead Space games now that Visceral Games are gone. But it'll be like a spiritual successor in that. So maybe this will be the so-called final death of BioWare if it's a failure. I mean, it's not going to meet EA's expectations. We've already established that no game in the AAA industry ever meets publisher expectations. So we just come across this lady. This lady is Pisher, taking the pish, and she eats people.
Drinking blood to sustain your death, you are damned, yes? What if, besides the blood of the living, you had to eat pounds of their flesh to maintain that thin facade of life?
She
what would you call it? Twice
speaks
dead?
in nonsense. A bit like me.
My birth name I tell no one. You may address me as Pisha. Pisha was the name of my companion and lover in a time before my death, 230 years ago. She has no need of it.
The way she speaks, she sounds like someone from ancient Egypt or possibly even Mesopotamia, or whatever a Mesopotamian is. Maybe she's the occupant of the sarcophagus. But I don't know who this Pisha is from 230 years ago. I'm not familiar where that name would come from.
My stay in this city is transitory. I seek relics of the occult traced here and would trade similar artifacts to acquire them. But if you wish to bargain with me, the kind upstairs must be sent down here. He has seen too much. Eventually.
Eventually, okay.
Tell him this was all a ruse. His friends playing a joke. He will come. He must come down here. If he leaves, the frail disguise we wear for mortals will be seen through.
Okay, so we can either, I mean, we can fight Pisha. She's a very good fighter, and she summons zombies and shit. Or we can go and kill the guy. However, we will lose humanity in the process. Now, in one of the previous parts, for replanting a lily, we sent a lady, a ghoul, to the blood bank. I don't know why I'm going all this way. I think there was a shortcut back in her little cubby hole. Somewhere around here, just bear with me. Ventilation shaft or something. Aha, here we are. Yeah. So we could have sent the ghoul, who was looking for a Toreador kindred. We could have sent her here and satisfy the vampire, but we would have still suffered the same loss in humanity. But I wanted to get the blood bank stocked, so I've got plenty of blood to buy on the cheap, instead of having to scrounge for it elsewhere. So we're going to go to this Skyline Apartments and find the gentleman who ran away. I'm trying to think of where he was, which number he was in. We shall find out soon enough. So yeah, in regards to Anthem, I wish the developers the best, even if that includes EA letting them go, and they all then form a new studio and make the games they want to make. They can make Mass Effect when they feel like it, and their Dragon Age spin-off when they want to, and their Baldur's Gates and their Knights of the Old Republic. Because I mean, even if they dance to EA's tune for however long, I don't think they're going to last much longer than that. I think they're done for, pretty much. No. We'll see. We'll see. I'm not going to condemn the game, so I'm not going to go condemn the studio, but I think, you know, I mean, I guess it is like a ticking time bomb when you work for EA, but how closely BioWare work with EA, I have no idea. Is it this house? Let's find out. Nope. This is the house of the lady who have been bitten before. Bitten? Fed on? I can't remember. Well, whatever. She had a disease. She got fucked over by pestilence, basically. Brother did a night circle. Okay. I'm gonna go down. I think that's Paul's flat there. I don't think we need to go down this way. Let's have a look. We never know. Boop. Nope. I think no, it's not here. Loving the wallpaper. Let's go into the vent shaft again. And I've run out of industry news, unfortunately. I haven't got anything else to talk about, really. Oh, there's something else as well. Adverts in Street Fighter V. Yeah, so you can turn on adverts, basically, and you can get extra fight currency, fight money. Which sounds, in a way, I mean, like, knee-jerk reaction, it's offensively bad. Because it's adverts in a game you've already paid for. And I mean, I saw this in World of Warcraft, where like you're paying for the privilege of waiting. You know, instead of paying for a boost to the wait, you know, to skip past, you're actually paying for the privilege not to skip, but do the opposite. You're paying to wait. So that's what I sort of see the Street Fighter V ads as. Oh fuck's sake, it's not here either. The place I'm looking for. Let's continue. Jesus, no, don't get the fucking gun out. The adverts. Yeah, so I mean, I don't know. It's like you're paying for a. Here we are. You're paying for a game up front, and then you have adverts in it. Like the whole point of a game being free to play, so you can have so you can monetize through adverts, or you pay to get rid of the adverts. Now, yes, they are optional. This is some fan mail here from Fanboy McGee. Okay, let you have a moment to read that. But yeah, I mean, I was told by a good friend of mine, yes, it is optional. It's optional until it isn't. Until eventually, where you don't have the option to turn off the adverts. And as we saw with like Shadow of War or Assassin's Creed Odyssey or Origins, when it comes to XP boosts, the game will eventually be designed to the point where it has to encourage watching these adverts or paying for these XP boosts so that you can buy them. Because if there's no demand for them, you need to create it. So I don't know why we're actually looking at the terminal. We don't need to. This is just providing a context, which I quite like, to be honest. And you can visit this room and this terminal long before you do that quest. In fact, I think in my 3 of my playthroughs, I've never once seen Pisha and done this quest, but I've sort of seen this terminal. So, the bloke should be here somewhere. I'm coming to get you, reporter.
You're from the hospital. But in my crew, are they... Really? A joke?
So we've told him it's a joke, everything's fine, go down there and get eaten.
Oh, real funny. Oh, you've got me good.
Not eaten out, just eaten. Which, depending on your tastes, might be just as good. So the Masquerade has been redeemed, but I have lost humanity, so I'm more likely to frenzy. I think I say that every time I talk about humanity gains and losses. Elevator's taking its time. Quick save very quickly. And then I'll go see Pisha, and then I can maybe trade artifacts. Is this elevator coming or what? Thank you. Right, go down to ground floor. So yeah, it's alright saying that, yeah, it is optional. It's true, you can enable and disable it, but I think the fight money rate has been reduced to cater to these adverts, or it was changed quite a while ago. I mean, I would ask, where's the option to speed up fight money gain? Where's the option to play the version of the Street Fighter where the currency gain is a lot more, I won't say reasonable, but more akin to what it was before, either years past or previous games? You know, is there an option to turn off seeing other people's merchandise, the advertisements and merchandise on other characters, you know? Not to mention as well, it can make a lot of costumes like really tacky and things like that. One of my favorite things in like these like Tony Hawk Underground and even like Disney Skate Extreme, yes, and I love that game. one of the worst things is that you might find a really good costume or apparel, but
Do not waste time
it was
debating
covered in
morality.
advertisements,
If a man walks
so
into a
it
tiger's
looked
domain,
shit
it
and
may
again
result in
tacky.
his being devoured. So it
I don't really want that
has.
on a costume. So the ability to turn off the advertisement would be fantastic, but if we allow this to become the standard, it may just get worse.
The Museum of Natural History housed one. Of that, I'm certain. I did investigate the grounds, but I have concluded it was stolen along with that sarcophagus. It is used to communicate with certain entities otherworldly. It is a tome called the Voce del Morte. Should you find yourself within the walls of the
I think I
tomb,
found that item
seize
before.
the opportunity and take it, or they will make sure you never have another. A fetish is described in a 19th century chronicle of a British platoon's encounter with a local tribe. Soldiers would go missing in the night and be replaced by these fetishes. It may be valuable to my studies. Yes, this is genuine and of use to me. There is something resonating from it. A whisper. I will give you this in trade. It is known as the
And
odious
offers its
chalice.
bloat to
It
its owner. I quite like
swells
the
with
sound of that.
spilled blood and offers its bloat to its owner.
Looks like a wet, rotting pig's face. I can't actually see it, but yeah. Let's have a look. Interesting. Looks like it's got better textures as well. The perverse creation of a flesh crafter, this abomination is forced to live a tortured eternity in servitude to the damned. As you kill enemies, the chalice will fill with blood. You use the chalice to feed from it and gain its... Oh, right, so it's like a blood bag that you fill up, basically. Only it's alive and horrible. Flesh crafter. I think, I can't remember if we've actually met one of the flesh crafters yet. I can't... I really must look back at these videos at some point and try and remember, because I keep saying that. Did I say this? Did I say that? Have I made this joke yet? This pointless observation? I don't know. But yeah. So anyway, that's my thoughts on Street Fighter V. I mean, honestly, I shouldn't be as aggravated as I am, because Street Fighter isn't a game that really appeals to me and likely never will. I'm just not into fighting games. But it just seems a bit shit, you know, and there is always the worry that this will become the standard and eventually you won't have the ability to remove the adverts, or you'll have to pay a subscription fee on top of the price tag of the game. It's optional until it isn't, basically. I see Chunk again. I think a lot of people may call it slippery slope fallacy, and I agree that it's a slippery slope, but I don't think it's a fallacy. I think the fallacy is like, if we allow the gays to marry, all our houses will be made of toast. There's no link between the two. But I think it's perfectly reasonable to expect games to get worse in that regard, with not with houses turning into toast and gays being able to marry. I'm talking about we've gone from the price tag to DLC to microtransactions to loot boxes to now advertisement in games. I mean, when it stops being optional, it really is too late to turn back for anyone else to fight back, because we'll all just be used to it now, you know? Quick saving again because I'm mental. So yeah, so that's why I'm sort of opposed to the advertisements. Not because they're bad, but because I think it can get bad, and I really sort of have to be against it in totality before it does get worse. The same with loot boxes.
Byproduct of a whimsical dart toss.
I don't want it to get any
and I
worse.
The critical fallout. I make the decisions, no one else will. Leadership. I wear the albatross and a bullseye.
Anyway.
I've had my fill of sycophants. I need adjutants I can trust. The blood hunt on Nines Rodriguez for the murder of Alistair Grout will be called. Rodriguez's execution is only a matter of time. I have lit the fuse. If If a war ignites, it's my head that will sharpen the pike's fall. Now to the matter of the sarcophagus. Do you need assistance bringing it up? Stolen? Stolen? How? Who would... Oh, Gary. Gary, you treasonous maggot. I should have anticipated your treachery, sewer rat. The Nosferatu Primogen. The Nosferatu were responsible for finding out where the sarcophagus was taken after the Dane, and for getting keys to the museum. They were the only ones who knew. It's obvious to me now. My mistake. I want him found. I want him... found. The sarcophagus could be exploited, causing who knows what catastrophe to this city. If it were to fall into the wrong hands...
If Gary gets his hands on it, it ain't gonna make him look any more attractive. I mean, we've already seen him in a cutscene. I shan't point the fella out. I'm spoiling too much again.
You will find the sarcophagus, because I already entrusted its retrieval to you before. And you failed to bring it back, did you not? The Nosferatu lurk in the filth below the streets of Hollywood. But not even I know just where they hide. Hollywood is, unfortunately, lacking in any Camarilla
I have to admit, LaCroix looks quite good in that light.
Isaac. Isaac's more civil than the anarchs downtown.
He's got a fancy
nonetheless, he wears his
dress sense as well.
mistrust of me on
If I knew how to tie a tie, I'd probably dress
He may know
like
how
him.
to contact the Nosferatu. Find Gary and get him to talk. That sarcophagus
Unfortunately,
could be
my
used against
face
him.
isn't as
Do
well
not
chiseled
come back
as his.
until you have it.
No, it's not
Now,
for anyone, is it?
I must announce the blood hunt.
And I couldn't have a haircut
The
like
brunt
that.
of all
Not again.
consequences. Escort her out.
I used to when I was a kid. When I had short hair. But now, no, I like long hair. Even as I'm inheriting my dad's greyish white hair. And his hair's getting whiter as he gets older. It still looks... I think it still looks quite good. The sort of odd grey streak every now and then. Okay, so we got to go to Hollywood and see the Baron. The Baron is equivalent of a prince of Hollywood, and he's the leader of the anarchs in Hollywood. Interesting, we can go to the museum again. Even though we don't need to. Anyway, to Hollywood. Oh, but I just hide
I ain't
this.
seen you here before. And if I haven't seen you, neither has Isaac. So that's your next stop. Isaac's in the jewelry store at the end of the street. Consider yourself invited. Ha! You do. Ha! Waste of effort.
Is that an advert for smoking? Cool cats, a taste to die for. Oh god. Drunky games. Play, obey. I mean, they don't need a sign in the style of They Live to make me. I've had a lot of fun with this. I did try to play another one of Troika's games, which was Arcanum of Magic and Steamworks, of Steamworks and Magic Obscura.
Good evening,
Arcanum.
Isaac Abrams. I've been expecting you.
Just
Seems the wooden
couldn't get
soldiers
into
of
it.
the
Maybe I need to play
Camarilla
turn-based.
shuffling a little too often these nights. That baby-faced two-bit Prince LaCroix got something to say to me? So, you've come to barter information with the sewer rats. LaCroix must really be desperate if he stooped to consorting with their kind, and asking for my help of all peoples. Perhaps. However, before we discuss how I might help you, there is the matter of tribute. Call me old-fashioned, but this is my barony, and as is tradition, a token of respect must be paid. What I want is a simple exchange. Last week I paid for a certain item, a movie, and this evening I got an email saying that the seller is ready to deliver it. Unfortunately, he's become a bit paranoid all of a sudden. Won't meet me in person, won't drop it off, won't even answer his phone. Says he'll send the location of the pickup to a computer in the nearby internet cafe tonight. You see where I'm going with this? Go to the Ground Zero Internet Cafe. Look for a directory named Joseph K. and use the password Kafka. There'll be an email in there that will specify a nearby location. Meet the contact, pick up the item, come back. Not too painful, right? There'll be plenty of time for questions later. I'll explain everything when you get back. Excellent. In the meantime, consider yourself a welcome guest in my barony. Welcome to Hollywood.
Thank you, Mr. Abrams. Now, so we've just met the Baron of not Santa Monica, Hollywood. My brain's going again. But I'll just quickly save because something's going to happen. And now we've been welcomed into his territory.
Oh my gosh, is that you? Everyone was worried sick about you when you didn't show up and didn't call, and nobody knew anything about what happened to you. We thought you were dead. Are you okay? You know what? Never mind. We have to help you.
So this is someone who knew us in life for our ascension, shall we say, our change to unlife, and they've been looking around for us for quite a while.
It's me, Samantha. Don't you... Did you suffer amnesia? Is that it? Let me make a call. We'll get everybody together. We can talk. Maybe you'll remember something. The important thing is that they know that you're alive. Come on, this is serious. I know it's you. Don't you recognize me? It's me. It's Samantha. What happened to you? But your face, you look exactly the same. It's uncanny. I can't believe it.
I'm gonna go with option 4, although 1 would be my answer.
It is you. I don't think you know what you're saying. We're gonna help you. You'll see. Everybody just wants to see you safe and back to your old self. Wait here. I'm gonna make a call. It's gonna be okay.
Shit. Right, so we had to do that to prevent her from making a call, because if she called and told her friends that that I was alive still, there would have been trouble. So I've drained her just enough to just to make sure she doesn't call, but not slay her and lose humanity. So now we're looking for need to read racing. See Jane Fry. Pronoun. Verb. Troika. Make learning fun. God, okay. Right, so there's a couple of bits of lore here that are quite funny. So you got this, I'd say exchange, but I think it's really just one person texting one. Okay. So you got a gentleman here who's, at least I think a gentleman who's very poor at English. Okay.
Not today. Hey, sorry.
Who's got a love interest by the sounds of things. I just want to have a look at this very quickly. Captain Bananas. CIA. Ape detective, okay. Right, anyway, sorry, G to, not Q to M. That's not really beer. Okay. I don't think there's anything more interesting. I'm not going to go through all of these. I do need this one. That's going to be quite useful to me. What was this? Cock. Great. Apps. Okay. So we've just got instructions. Okay. I mean, what's the fun in that if you can't watch porn? Oh well. Can I go? No, can't go back there just yet. Just yet. Right, so we need to go to the back of this place or somewhere else. Sorry, my nose is always itching when I record. I don't know if it's some kind of strange nervous tick or what. Behind the fast book. Pick up an item. Right, oh yeah, that's the lucky star down there. We need to go down there later. If I've got some time to record tomorrow morning, I shall. I might even have a different shirt on. So that'll be a nice change for you all. I'm trying to think where this is now. See, I know it is in my mind's eye, but obviously that's not really good enough. Going up to a map now. So if you go to the bus stop, you can have a look at the maps here. So, we're looking for... Sorry, what are we looking for again? Fast book. Right. I'm going to go behind the Hollywood Apartments, I think. And have a look around there. Or can we go around here? don't think there's any more rats. Okay, let's continue. I think it's around here. The gentleman we're looking for is. Here's here. Save the game. In fact, let's do it properly. Let's save version. And I must remember to do that at the end of this as well.
Yeah? What do you want? Yeah? I mean, what? Who the hell is Isaac? I don't know anyone named Isaac. Get lost, bitch! Alright. Sorry. It's just that... I mean, something is... I just want out of this whole thing. I don't want anything to do with that damn tape. I don't know. I mean, when it comes to video, I've seen everything. And I do mean everything. But this thing, it's sick. It can't be real, but it is. I know it. It's real, and it scares the hell out of me. Oh, you have no idea. It's disgusting. That girl, the things that are happening to her. It just ain't right, man. It just ain't right.
You'll actually get to see the contents of the tape.
Wrong. Something's after me. I swear to God, something's after me. Every place I go, wherever I look, I see things. In the shadows. My phone rings. I hear something breathing on the other end, and... Shit. I'm out, man. I'm out of this whole thing. I don't have it. I stashed it someplace. Look, you need to find Ginger Swans. Huh? What the hell was that? Shit. Did you see that? I'm getting the fuck out of here. What the... Oh, Christ!
Sound like the sewer lid. I don't think I'll be going down there. Too scary. Oh, unless, hang on. Now, we'd recently read up about Ginger Swan. Now, you can ask around and waste a lot of time, or hopefully we can just go straight to where she's currently residing. And maybe we can get this done before the timer's up, because we haven't got much time. I said in the last video I wanted to get the videos done in under like in under an hour and 10 minutes, like well, an hour and 5 minutes. An hour and 20 minutes it's looking like. I don't know because I haven't rendered it yet. I'm going to do all that tomorrow. I really must ask if anyone wants to do any Mythic Dungeons, because I'm going to just start getting into those in WoW. So I really should take the time to play with the guild a bit more on that, with those. No, it's not there. Yeah, so Ginger Swan is living here because she's dead, basically. Aha! Alright, a battered video cassette. Devil Spawn Flesh Feast 1. Just looks to me from DMP. Just change hands a few times. I like the label as well. Doesn't look worn at all. It's a videotape as well. This was in 2004 when DVD was a thing. Pretty sure it was. It must have been. It must have been. It was, wasn't it? Because like, when did the Xbox 360 come out? Like 2005, 2007. Must have been. Oh, fuck! I've lost my way again. Ah, shit. Join me for part 9, where I spend an hour and a bit trying to find my way out. Why not? Now, we will be coming back to this graveyard. And I'm probably going to make a lot of excuses as to why I hate this fucking game. Because there is a mission here that I cannot stand. And I must be the only person who sucks at this mission. You'll see for yourselves later on. I mean, please to God, if you've played the game and you know what mission there is, do let me know how you found it, because I really hope to God I'm not the only one who sucks at it, but at the same time, well, you know, more's the pity. Because I want it to just be me and it's not a bug with the game. Friggin' chicken! That's some good fucking chicken. I see the Advertisement Standards Authority aren't really at play here in Hollywood. Oh well, so we've got the tape. We can watch that, and that'll be a nice little sort of end of the video treat for you all. I say end of the video. We've got 10 minutes left, approximately.
Good time. Hand me the item. I didn't doubt you'd find this, and I apologize if I was overly imperious before.
So, if you didn't read about Ginger Swan, what you'd have to do is you'd have to ask around, and that took me fucking ages. It took about 2-3 hours, I think.
But first, this tape. I'm in a hurry to find out.
And it
what's
really
behind
is
all the
simple
hype,
as well.
So get comfortable. I do have a feeling that whatever's here.
Get comfortable? Oh, I most certainly will.
It's more disturbing than I was led to believe. You can understand my concern now, can't you? It just so happens that around the time this snuff film started circulating, the Nosferatu disappeared. I tried to elicit their help in tracking down the source, and for the first time in all these years, I was dismayed by their absence. Usually I just put the word out I'm looking for them, and sooner or later, they appear. I assume it does. It's awfully coincidental otherwise. And those creatures. I don't know how many professional FX houses could pull those off. There's a problem, though, in that the film's incomplete. The first half is damaged. We need a complete copy. Behind the spit-shine gloss of the Hollywood Dream Factory, there's another city churning out a vile byproduct for the furtive consumption of a debauched audience. I have no doubt the film's found its way to another smut peddler. I'd ask around.
Oh, it's a Tyranno. So, we've recently revealed that the videotape was a snuff film, because if it's on a videotape, it's bound to be. So that was joyous. So now we've got to solve the mystery of that, and that should hopefully lead us to the Nosferatu. I'm going to quickly just interact a little bit with the world and try and open up a few avenues for future videos, get some requests picked up, and speak to this gentleman here.
Welcome to Red Spot, home of the Monster Truck. 72 ounces of your favorite beverage for 89 cents. Blah blah.
Hey, why don't
you need help or something?
Area code 323-KL5-KTRK. Looks like somebody's been waiting in the queue for a while to see.
This isn't going to turn out to be
so
ironic, is it? You're not like a serial killer, are you?
Insects. As in you have
Always.
a problem?
You should
Or
come out and see
chirping
my
crickets
band,
are
A Bowl of
keeping you
Cereal.
up, or
We're playing tomorrow
you have
night at
nightmares about
Crematorium.
them?
No
Tell me,
cover for
Arthur.
chicks.
No,
We're gonna
no,
ruin
don't
the
you
place.
know? When you fall asleep, they can crawl into your mouth or your ears or
Tastes
your
like
nose.
combined
You mean
pizza
like
and
hardcore
nachos
girl
together
on girl
and
on
call them
kangaroo action?
nachos?
Are there any
Nah,
scientists
Yeah,
out
my
there
man
looking
Flint
for
Sinbin puts me next to for all the stuff we're dunning around the internet now.
But do you know the average person eats several pounds of
Huh.
insects a year?
Oh,
The
that?
majority of that waste is
Man,
composed of
that's
roaches,
supposed to be
ants,
some
and
hardcore
spiders.
shit.
Just
I
knowing
heard
that
this
as
one
soon as
guy
you close your eyes,
died right
a
after
big fat
watching it.
centipede is gonna drop into your mouth and crawl
Like
down
I
your
said,
throat.
Flynn's a man. You should talk to him.
I never sleep at night.
You know, they voluntarily eat insects in some
Oh,
countries.
but it's just
Hey, you know, you should
So,
really
you never
ask
sleep
me
at
about the
night.
special,
I
you know?
assume you do sleep, right?
I sleep at work.
I'm glad you asked
And
that,
what
baby.
exactly do you do?
Seeing as how you look trustworthy or something.
That would
Apparently
explain why
I've
my
got this
nephew
special
invested
where you
that
buy
20
some
I sent
really
him for his
expensive
birthday
burrito
on
tots or
Magic
grapeful
Beans.
juice.
A burrito
Three
tot.
weapons.
I've never heard of a burrito tot. I've heard of a tater tot. I love tater tots.
And a
Caller,
colorful
what do
candy
you do for a
shell.
living?
And the commercial
Yo, keep
should
it
have
down.
like
And
kung
what do you
fu
do?
or
It's just my side
giraffe.
gig. Yeah.
So,
You have some lap
have you
dances
written
don't pay
any
for
of the
themselves.
movies I might have seen?
Well, I actually haven't finished any screenplays yet.
Colt
I see.
Anaconda.
So, have you done any other kinds
One of my
writing?
favorite guns is the Colt Python. That that's impressive.
So, if you haven't really written anything, how can you call yourself
Feeling
a
like a
writer?
punk.
Because I once
They
fixed
should
my
like
toilet. doesn't mean
combine
nothing.
The last
pizza
caliber
and
must have
nachos
passed off
together
almost
anyone
anyone
in
dead
the
in
call
their
them
culture
tracks.
piznachios.
Oh, nice.
Or actor.
Man,
Alternative
I'd
fire
go
mode.
for some
Fab.
piznachios right now.
Don't know what that does. Sledgehammer.
Deeming yourself something you're not, or not
Don't
even
forget that song
trying
out of
to.
someone's head, as well as anything else inside. Like leather
Would that
armor.
make you a critic? Let's see if
Results
anyone
in
else
-1
agrees.
dexterity.
Line two. Are you ready for menage a trois?
Sure thing, Deb.
And would you
Some
please
examples
state
of like
what
leather
you
clothing,
do?
leather
I'm a
jackets,
personal assistant for
leather
a
skirts,
producer
and
of
leather
Parasite
gloves
Studio.
and boots.
Perfect. Do you read
I
a lot
will
of
buy
screenplays?
that.
Don't get me started.
Well, for our writer on the phone,
Where
this is
did
a
I
good chance to
park
pitch
my
your
car
I
again?
might actually
Oh,
need
wait,
some
I
ammo.
don't even have a
Oh, I
car,
can't actually
dude.
get any more, I don't think.
So, my story's about this
Yep.
guy. You don't
Yeah,
say.
that can name my shotgun ammo.
Okay, so this guy, he's
Buy some
well, he's like a
bullets as well.
an
Just
FBI
got a feeling that I might actually need these for a boss later down the line.
61.
But we shall see. Oh, I've got some things to say. Some things to
15
sell.
more cents and you're going in my stomach, Choco Bombs.
something happens and the girl agent gets kidnapped by
I don't know how the hell I ended up with 7 of those. Still a few. Right, there we go.
quite figured it out yet.
Lots of money.
Like the guy
Can I sell that? $0. That goes for 28. But no, I don't want to get rid of that because it increases my defense by 1.
Again. Oh, wait, I don't even have a car, dude.
I'll get rid of.
finds out in the end that he's the killer.
Should I get? Yeah, I'll get rid of another one as well.
Kidnapped his own partner.
Got plenty of
Well,
blood
I too, what do you
bags.
think? You're gonna
Oh,
option
I've
it
got
or not?
ooh, Elder Fighter.
Writer dude? Roger. Roger, would you like my professional
I didn't know
opinion?
this was a thing.
Where are you from? Wisconsin. Okay. I want you to get all your stuff together, and then I want you to move back to
I
Wisconsin.
don't want to consume that yet, so I might look that up on the
That's
wiki.
Hollywood, baby. It's just too good for you.
Tastes
no,
like
Because that might be quite
combined
interesting. Because you never know, it might give me
pizza
more
and
powers or whatever. Or experience points.
nachos together.
Hang on a second, I wanna
call
look at
them
something very quick.
piznachios.
But I was wondering what that was.
Man, I could go for some
Greed magazine,
piznachios
pain
right
and
now.
suffering. Worm magazine.
Sorry, Roger. The
Chin.
only one that gets to give out their number on this show is me.
Women
And if
whale.
anyone was thinking of
Troika.
asking what I'm wearing, that number
So, I
again
mean, we're
is
talking.
223
Doggies
jail
magazine.
bound
We were talking about adverts earlier, and of course, Troika put theirs everywhere. Any other interesting brands? Anything else we should know?
Man, I
Ooh,
could
money
go
clip.
for some
Very nice.
piznachios right now.
Anything else? No. No. Eldritch artifacts.
I'm
Nope.
sorry, sir. This dressing room is for women only.
I think that's Chin Shop.
Hi, I'm Dr. Fred Tuck. Don't let your penis interfere with the quality of your life
Anyway,
anymore. I have
have a look
performed
in the
over
bathrooms
300
very
sex
quickly.
changes in my career, and not
The
one
toilets.
has ever asked for that cackle
Or
box
the
back.
lavatoire. I don't know anymore. Right, better just turn off the timer on my phone because I think that's just about everything done. We must now see Sydney Smut, or whatever his name was, over here. We will be doing a lot of quests as well. We'll probably want to pick up some more stuff. So we're going to be going here next. DVDs! See, they do DVDs. Magazines. Fetish. They can sell you a fetish. Is that like a voodoo fetish? I have no idea. Speaking of voodoo fetishes, you really should check out X Therapy, my World of Warcraft channel. I'm joking. Anyway, yes, thank you ever so much for watching. I'm going to end this part here. We will be going into the Sin Bin, or Adult XXX, or XXX Adult. And I'll probably be beginning that tomorrow. So that's pretty much done. We'll pick up some more side quests. We'll get some more stuff done. This is going to be a very long quest chain, I know that. And there's other stuff that we can get done as well. How nice! So, thank you ever so much for watching. You guys take care, and I will see you again later. Ta-ta for now.